You are at war, but not with the world. The real battle is within. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. Your body is either your strongest ally or your heaviest prison. I did not become Bruce Lee by chance. I created Bruce Lee. I was weak. I was doubted. I was told I would fail, but I refused to accept limits, and neither should you. Let me show you lessons that will forever change how you see yourself. People often say, I can't do this. I can't be that. But who told you that? Where did those limits come from? Most of the time, limits are not real. They are beliefs, shackles you place upon yourself. You are not too weak. You are not too slow. You are not too late. The only thing stopping you is the idea that you can't go further. Every time you say, I can't, your mind listens. It builds a wall around you, and over time, that wall becomes a prison. But here's the truth. There is no wall. There is no prison. You are the one holding the key. Start small, every day. Push a little further than yesterday. If your body is tired, do one more rep. If your mind says stop, take one more step. If fear tells you to quit, face it head on. The moment you push past what you thought was possible, you prove to yourself that limits are an illusion. Comfort is the real enemy. It whispers, stay where you are. It's easier. But those who listen to comfort never grow. They stay the same year after year. If you want strength, if you want power, you must step outside your comfort zone. You don't need to take a giant leap today, just one step and then another. Because once you start breaking limits, you realize something: there are none. Most people spend their entire lives following rules they never questioned, obeying traditions they never understood, and believing ideas they never challenged. They accept things as they are because that's how they were taught. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, is this truly the best way? Many people fail, not because they lack effort, but because they waste energy on things that do not serve them. They hold on to ideas, habits, and systems that were never meant for them. They try to fit into someone else's mold instead of shaping their own. I never followed one martial art blindly. I took what worked from every discipline: boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, wrestling, and discarded what didn't. That's how I created Jeet Kune Do. And that's how you must create yourself. The world will try to tell you what to think, how to act, and who to be, but you must filter everything. Take what is useful, discard what is useless, and create something uniquely your own. How do you do this? Start by looking at what you consume daily. The books you read, the advice you take, the habits you follow. Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you in place? If something is slowing you down, let it go. If a habit is making you weaker, cut it out. Be ruthless in removing what does not serve your progress. Next, seek knowledge from everywhere. Do not limit yourself to one way of thinking. Learn from different cultures, disciplines, and perspectives. Absorb the lessons of warriors, thinkers, and masters across time. Every piece of wisdom is a tool. The more tools you have, the better you can shape yourself. Finally, create. Do not just repeat what others have done. Do not just follow the path already laid before you. Build your own. Develop your own. Voice your own way of thinking, your own philosophy. You are not here to be a copy of someone else. You are here to become the greatest version of yourself. Most people live as imitations when they were meant to be originals. But those who rise above, the ones who leave a mark on this world, are the ones who absorb, discard, and create. Fear is the greatest liar you will ever meet. It whispers in your ear, telling you that you are not ready, that you are not good enough, that if you try, you will fail. And most people listen. They hesitate. They hold back. They wait for the perfect moment, a moment that never comes. But here's the truth. Fear is not real. It is a thought, a prediction, an illusion. It only has power if you believe in it. When you let fear control you, you become trapped. You hesitate to take action, avoiding challenges instead of facing them. Slowly, your world shrinks. The dreams you once had seem too far away. You start telling yourself, maybe I wasn't meant for more, but that's a lie. Do you know what fear actually is? It is a signal, a sign that you are standing at the edge of something important. Fear does not mean stop. It means this is where you grow. Every great thing you want, confidence, strength, mastery, success, lies on the other side of fear. But you will never reach it if you keep running away. Look at a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again, but they don't cry about it. They don't give up. They don't give up. They don't say, maybe walking isn't for me. They keep going until they master it. Because failure does not exist to a child, they do not fear it. They learn from it. But as we grow, we start fearing failure. We avoid risks. We stop chasing what we want because we are afraid of looking foolish, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of losing. But in reality, the only true failure is not trying at all. The greatest fighters, the greatest minds, the greatest leaders, none of them got there without failure. I did not become Bruce Lee because I never failed. I became Bruce Lee because I never let failure stop me. Every time I was knocked down, I got back up, smarter, stronger, better. So what should you do? First, stop fearing failure. Expect it. Welcome it. Every time you fail, you are getting closer to mastery. Every mistake teaches you something. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try. Second, face fear head on. Do the things that scare you. Speak when your voice shakes. Move forward when doubt fills your mind. Train when your body wants to quit. The more you step into fear, the weaker it becomes. Soon you will realize it was never real in the first place. And finally, remember this: fear is temporary, regret is forever. If you allow fear to stop you now, years from today, you will look back and wonder, what could I have been? What could I have done? And by then, it will be too late. So do not wait, do not hesitate. Run toward your fears, break through them, and when you do, you will find something incredible waiting on the other side, your true self. Your body is only as strong as your mind allows it to be. The greatest warriors in history weren't just physically powerful, they were mentally unshakable. They could endure pain, push past exhaustion, and fight through impossible odds, because their minds were trained for battle long before their bodies ever stepped onto the battlefield. Most people train their muscles, but never their thoughts. They lift weights, but carry weak beliefs. They sharpen their bodies, but allow their minds to remain dull. And when challenges come, they crumble. Not because they are physically weak, but because their minds have not been conditioned to withstand struggle. Your mind is a weapon, and like any weapon, it must be forged, sharpened, and tested. Train your mind, and your body will follow. Now who will you become? When fear tries to hold you back, step forward anyway. Every time you do, your mind grows stronger, your spirit harder to break. Fear is a test, a challenge, and when you face it, when you refuse to retreat, you become something greater than you were before. But strength is not enough. If you truly want to master yourself, you must develop unshakable discipline. Motivation is fleeting, as unreliable as the wind. One moment it lifts you, the next it vanishes. But discipline, that is the foundation of mastery. It is waking up and doing what must be done, no matter how you feel. It is choosing action over excuses, progress over comfort, and purpose over pleasure. Discipline is not a gift you are born with. It is a weapon you forge, one day at a time, one choice at a time. Every time you show up, every time you refuse to quit, every time you push through resistance, you are training your mind to be unstoppable. A warrior is not made in a single battle. He is forged through fire, hardship, and struggle, and your mind must go through the same process. Sharpen it, strengthen it, challenge it. Because in the end, the strongest weapon you will ever have is not your fists, not your body, but your mind. And if you master it, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Water is the most powerful force in nature, not because it is rigid like stone, not because it is unyielding like metal, but because it is adaptable. It takes the shape of anything. It can be soft enough to slip through your fingers, yet strong enough to carve through mountains. It moves with patience or strikes with force. This is how you must train your mind and body. Do not be rigid like a rock that shatters under pressure. Do not be stiff like a tree that snaps in the storm. Be like water, always flowing, always adapting, always unstoppable. Most people resist change. They cling to what is familiar, mistaking comfort for safety. But life does not care about your comfort. It will challenge you, break the rules, and push you in directions you never expected. The weak panic. They complain. They wish things could go back to the way they were. But warriors move with change. If water meets an obstacle, does it stop? No, it flows over, under, around, or through. If you want to be powerful, you must do the same. Some here be like water, and think it means being passive, weak, surrendering to whatever comes. But they do not understand. Water is not weak. It has leveled cities, carved through rock, and turned into ice, so strong it shatters steel. Being like water is not about submission. It is about knowing when to be soft and when to be strong. When patience is required, move calmly. When action is needed, strike like a storm. A rigid person only knows one way, but a warrior who is like water can handle anything. They know when to wait, when to move, when to strike, and when to vanish like mist. Most people trap themselves in their own beliefs. They think there is only one way to succeed, only one path to victory. And when that path fails, they break. This is why you must train yourself to see things from different angles, to adapt, to evolve. Never limit yourself to one strategy. I never followed just one style of martial arts. I took the best from each and created something new. If one way didn't work, I found another. I did not let my mind become stuck, and neither should you. Water does not always flow gently. Sometimes it becomes a tidal wave, crashing through everything in its path. This is how you must be when your moment comes. When you are working towards something, when you see your opportunity, do not hesitate. Do not stop. Move like a flood. Overwhelm everything in your way, because when you are like water, nothing can stop you. If a rock stands in your path, flow past it. If a wall blocks your way, wear it down until it crumbles. If resistance meets you, do not retreat. Strike with force. This is why water always wins. It never stops moving. It never gives up. And in the end, it always finds a way. Discipline is the master of all things. It is what separates the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the extraordinary, the dreamers from the doers. Most people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack potential, but because they lack discipline. They rely on motivation, and when motivation fades, as it always does, they stop, they quit, they give in to weakness. But discipline, that is unbreakable. It does not depend on how you feel. It does not wait for the perfect moment. It does not make excuses. If you master discipline, you master everything. Motivation is a spark, bright for a moment, then gone. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel exhausted, unmotivated, tempted to take it easy. This is where discipline steps in. It does not ask, "Do you feel like training today?" It does not wait for the right mood. It simply acts. Discipline is showing up when no one is watching. It is waking up early when you want to sleep in. It is doing the hard work when your body begs for rest. It is moving forward when doubt whispers in your ear. Most people let their feelings control their actions. I don't feel like working today. I'll start tomorrow. It's too hard, and so they stay the same. They never grow. They never reach their potential. But the ones who succeed, they take action no matter what. They train even when they're tired. They work even when they don't feel like it. They push forward even when everything inside them says, stop, because they understand. Discipline is not about what you want right now. It is about what you want most. Every day you have a choice, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline is painful. Waking up early, pushing yourself, saying no to distractions. But regret is far worse. Regret is looking back and realizing you wasted time. Regret is seeing opportunities you could have taken but didn't. Regret is knowing you had the potential to be great, but let it slip away because you chose comfort over effort. Discipline is hard, but regret lasts forever. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you build, and the only way to build it is to do hard things every single day. Start small. Every day, do something that challenges you. When your mind tells you to quit, keep going. If you want to stop at 10 reps, do 12. If you feel like skipping a task, do it anyway. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And soon, things that once felt impossible will become second nature. Weakness is always waiting, looking for a way to take over. It starts small, skipping one workout, delaying one task, making one excuse. And before you know it, weakness is in control. Discipline is the only way to destroy it. When your mind says, I don't feel like it, discipline says, do it anyway. When excuses appear, discipline crushes them. When distractions try to pull you away, discipline keeps you locked in. Weakness is a disease. Discipline is the cure. The strongest people do not see discipline as something they have to do. It is simply who they are. They don't say, I have to train. They say, I am a warrior. Training is what I do. They don't say, I have to work hard. They say, I am disciplined. I don't need motivation. I take action. Most people think discipline is restriction, that it means living a joyless life. But discipline is the greatest form of freedom. It frees you from weakness. It frees you from chaos. It frees you from regret. Weak people do whatever they feel like in the moment, but in the end, they become slaves to their own weaknesses. Disciplined people control themselves, and because of that, they are truly free. If you master discipline, you can achieve anything. Strength, success, confidence, power, it is all built on discipline. Do not wait for motivation. Take action now. Do not make excuses. Destroy them. Do not let weakness control you. Be stronger, because in the end, discipline is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay the same. If you want to be unstoppable, be disciplined, be like water, and nothing will stand in your way. There is one truth that separates the great from the ordinary: discipline. Your emotions are powerful forces, capable of pushing you forward or holding you back, making you strong or rendering you weak. The difference between a warrior and an ordinary person lies in control. Most people are slaves to their emotions. They react without thought. Anger flares, and they lash out. Sadness comes, and they surrender. Doubt creeps in, and they stop trying. They allow emotions to dictate their actions instead of choosing their actions, despite their emotions. But if you want to dominate your mind and body, if you want to be unstoppable, you must learn one thing: control your emotions, or your emotions will control you. The myth of suppression. Many believe controlling emotions means suppressing them, pretending they don't exist. That is not the answer. You are human. Emotions will always be a part of you. The goal is not to become emotionless. It is to become the master of your emotions, not their servant. A warrior does not ignore fear, anger, frustration, or pain. He feels them, he understands them, but he does not let them dictate his choices. Anger can destroy, or it can fuel you. Fear can paralyze, or it can sharpen you. Pain can break you, or it can make you stronger. The difference lies in how you use them. The power of response. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens, and they immediately respond with anger, fear, or frustration. But warriors do not react. They respond. When someone insults you, do not react with anger. Stay calm. Weak men get angry easily. Strong men control themselves. When you fail at something, do not react with frustration. Learn from it. Weak people crumble under failure. Warriors analyze it and return stronger. When life throws obstacles at you, do not react with self-pity. Adapt and move forward. Weak people complain. Warriors adjust. A reaction is emotional and uncontrolled. A response is calm and calculated. Be the master of your response, redirecting anger, Anger is one of the most dangerous emotions. It can make you reckless, cause you to say things you don't mean, and make you lose focus in the heat of the moment. If you let anger control you, it will destroy you. But if you control anger, you can turn it into power. A warrior's anger does not make him reckless. It makes him sharper. When you feel anger rise, do not explode. Channel it. Put it into training, into discipline, into action. Let it sharpen your focus, fuel your drive, and fortify your resilience. Facing fear. Fear is a trick your mind plays on you. It makes things seem worse than they are. It makes you hesitate, keeping you stuck in place, afraid to take the next step. But here is the greatest secret about fear. Once you step into it, it disappears. How many times have you been afraid to do something, only to realize later that it was never as bad as you thought? Fear only has power when you avoid it. If you fear speaking up, speak up more. If you fear failure, fail faster and learn from it. If you fear pushing past your limits, push even harder. A warrior does not run from fear. He steps into it and conquers it. Turning pain into power. Pain is inevitable. Physical pain, emotional pain, the pain of loss, the pain of failure. But pain is not your enemy. Pain is a test. Weak people let pain break them. They complain, they quit, they seek escape. Warriors take pain and turn it into power. Every great fighter has trained through pain. Every great leader has failed and suffered before they succeeded. Every strong mind has been forged in hardship. When you face pain, do not run from it. Sit with it, learn from it, let it make you stronger. A warrior does not ask, why is this happening to me? A warrior asks, how can I use this to grow? Discipline over emotion. You will not always feel like training. You will not always feel like working. You will not always feel motivated. But this is where discipline must be stronger than emotion. Weak people say, I don't feel like it. Warriors say, I do it anyway. This is the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who stay the same. Warriors do what must be done, regardless of how they feel. If emotions try to pull you away from your goal, stay locked in. If doubt creeps in, remind yourself who you are and why you started. If your mind tries to make excuses, push forward anyway. The battle for your destiny. Every single day, you are making a choice about who you are, how you live, and what kind of person you become. Some people drift through life without direction. They wake up, go through their routine, and let life happen to them. They blame circumstances, others, and fate. But a warrior does not think this way. A warrior knows he alone is responsible for his path. The strongest minds, the best fighters, the most disciplined people, they did not get there by luck. They built themselves. Every workout you complete, every challenge you push through, every excuse you refuse to make, these are the bricks in the foundation of your future self. Likewise, every time you skip the hard work, every time you choose comfort over effort, every time you let fear win, these are also bricks. But they are building a weaker version of you. Every day, you are choosing between two versions of yourself. The strong, disciplined, unstoppable version. The weak, lazy, excuse-making version. Which one are you feeding? Many say, I'll change someday. Someday, I'll be stronger. Someday, I'll be more disciplined. Someday, I'll take life seriously. But someday is an illusion. It does not exist. The only thing that exists is now. Your future self, the warrior you dream of becoming, is not created later. He is being created right now. The choice is yours. If you are not where you want to be, it is your responsibility to change it. If you are not as strong as you want to be, it is your responsibility to train harder. If your life is not where you want it to be, it is your responsibility to take action. No one is coming to save you. No one will do the work for you. The world does not reward excuses. It rewards action. A warrior does not seek approval. He does not ask for permission. He chooses his path and walks it with confidence. At the end of your life, you will look back and see the choices you made. The hard truth. No one else will be responsible for them except you. If you are strong, it will be because you chose to be strong. If you are weak, it will be because you chose to be weak. If you are successful, it will be because you took action. If you are filled with regret, it will be because you chose to stay the same. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle for your own destiny, and the only person who can win it is you. So choose now, choose discipline, choose strength, choose to be a warrior.